back-to-back championships in this league. We know how hard that is to go through all that, and it speaks a lot of our team, our character.
By going through the season, every single series in the playoffs, we had to fight and battle, compete extremely hard. When you're able to overcome all those obstacles, you get stronger and stronger.
When you want to be champions or you want to repeat as champions, there comes a moment where you figure out it's just about you and the team, and that's it.
One thing that always brought us together is our team chemistry. We always found a way in the difficult times when our backs were against the wall to come out winning.
To be a Laker and to be part of this organization is amazing. Every game, every day, fighting for a championship. It's extremely special.
It's just a storied franchise, and they've always been dominant. And obviously winning these championships, being in the finals 3 straight years, there are all things that will be in the history books, and I'm fortunate for that.
Basketball was the first thing that I ever fell in love with. I'm 30 years old, I've been playing since I was 5 or 6. To win 2 NBA titles with the LA Lakers, it's been an incredible journey for me. It just seems like when you flash back all the years that I've been in the league, everything just seems like a blur. You find yourself here in this moment, and you realize the significance of it and the importance of it. It's a dream come true.
In an eternal moment in their storied history, the Los Angeles Lakers have captured their 2nd straight World Championship and have etched their names into Lakers lore.
I don't look at it as repeating, I look at it as just winning. You know what I mean? It's of course at the end, the end result is repeating, but man, it's a whole nother year. I'm not, what we did last year was great, but it's not that difficult to me. Just forget about it, move on to the next season, win it again.
In 2009, the Los Angeles Lakers won their 15th NBA title. And for Phil Jackson, it was his record 10th league championship as a head coach.
We're gonna bring it in one time. Come on, Phil, Mr. 10. Let's go! Come on, Mr. 10.
We're saying the
we
Lord's
done.
Prayer, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we done. Nah, you got
But when the euphoria of winning the title faded, it was time for the Lakers to get back to work.
Back to work again. It's gonna be hard defending our title, but I feel good, man. I feel really good. I'm ready to roll. Y'all ready to watch?
That's a good start. Yes, sir.
They returned to training camp, focused on the task of defending their crown.
Champions League champions, period. Can't argue it.
Coming off last year's success, the Lakers were a loose, confident, and close-knit team. With their core of players intact, they were ready for another championship run.
Imagine trying to cover that. Yeah. Back pick, catch, pick right back right back behind me. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Boom.
But this year, there would be one big difference: Ron Artest. As the one newcomer from 2009, the talented but enigmatic forward would have to earn the trust of his teammates, most importantly, Kobe Bryant. And there wasn't much of a foundation to build on.
Loose ball for Adams on the Houston Rockets.
To be on Ron Artest against Kobe Bryant, he's going to be very careful that he does not get a technical.
Wow, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Right over to Bryant.
A year ago, the two had been bitter rivals. Now, they would need each other's help.
All you're doing is playing out of the format. The format is a triangle that you can change or adjust, and you communicate with each other and do it.
How quickly Artest could learn the triangle offense remained to be seen. But there was one commodity he knew he could offer: his standout defense.
I think that way. Play, yeah. Let me come out. He switched this way. He switched this. Once I know where the ball going, where your midsection moving, keep my feet moving. No buckets.
When you look at teams that you may have to go through,
A lot of those teams had, players that he would have to defend that we've had trouble defending in the past.
Good D! Run, let's go, run!
Ron was working hard to weave himself into the fabric of the team. But the season was fast approaching, and the Lakers had to be ready for the challenge that comes with being champions.
Hey! Bring it in!
On opening night, the Lakers received the symbol of last season's accomplishment.
Oh, put it back, son! You got your face on it! Yeah!
The ring ceremony marked the end of one journey and the start of another. But with it came the pressure to repeat.
The expectations for the Lakers coming into the 2009-2010 season were that they would win a second championship. People thought there was no excuse not to. The theory was this is their championship to lose.
It's about history making, baby. 1 on 3, 1, 2, 3, great!
Lakers play the clock, and then Bryant sets it up for Bynum.
And they have to get back to that defense if they're going to repeat.
Nice defense.
Jordan Farmar will get it from Ron Artest.
This team has a chance to be very good. Real good.
Kobe! Give me a break! Good defense here by the Lakers. Artest, the shot off the way!
LA would open the season on a tear. The Lakers seemed invincible, winning 18 of their first 21 games.
And the Lakers have now won 7 in a row.
Kobe!
3.2 seconds, no timeouts for the Lakers.
Wade is guarding Bryant.
107-105 Miami. Gives to Kobe, right wing, dribbles away, 30 feet, 1 second.
Bryant dribbling, has to put it up for the buzzer. He banks in the 3, and the Lakers win the game.
Kobe was carrying the Lakers on an exhilarating ride to the top of the Western Conference. Along the way, he provided one dramatic finish after another, leaving even his own team in amazement.
It was incredible, man. All you could do after that is run, hug him, celebrate, and get on to the next game, man. And he did it game after game after game.
Kobe will get it for the win. He is hard to believe.
And the Lakers winning streak continues. 3 seconds, Kobe backs down Bell, a step back fade. He got it at the buzzer! And the Lakers will escape Milwaukee with a 1-point win.
That's what he does. He's one of the best in the business, one of the best of all time. You're in a close game, a tie game, and he has the ball, that's where you want to be.
Shot clock at 7. Bryant leads, falling away, puts it in! And the Lakers take a 1-point lead with 7.3 remaining. What a clutch shot once again from Kobe Bryant.
Yes, sir. That's what we do, baby. Yes, sir. That's what we do. Yes, sir. Yeah, man, you know it. That's why they call you the greatest. They don't believe us, man. You're going to make them believe us, man. Oh, man. You're going to make them believe us every time.
Los Angeles had cruised through the first 2 months of the season, but they were about to run into their first major obstacle. When the Lakers faced the top team in the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they lost both times. And not even Kobe could prevent an embarrassing blowout on their home court.
Wake up, let's go!
James puts it in and a foul.
They were more physical than we were. They kind of just bullied us, and we didn't have an answer for them.
Good defense from Varejao. Boom. For the basket. Nice throw down from Moon.
This one getting a little out of hand. And the crowd throwing out. Foam fingers. And this is unfortunate.
This is the best team in the East, and you're arguably the best team in the West. These are kind of yardsticks that you need along the way and say, okay, we have to play better.
Having failed their biggest tests of the season so far, the first doubts began to surface about whether the Lakers would be able to repeat.
Ron, what are you doing? We have a center opposite.
Can they turn it on? Is Kobe okay? Has Artest fit into the offense yet? We just didn't know. what was going to happen.
With the season approaching the midway point, Ron Artest was still trying to grasp the finer points of the triangle offense.
Yes, sir.
So now you start the triangle up here.
Yeah.
Right there. Corner's all the way down there.
Ron, you got to know this. You got to get up, way up here. So the middle's open. We tried to run it in this game the other night. We couldn't execute it. All right, it's not about the back pick, down pick, shot at the end. It's about the initiating part.
With the Lakers still trying to gel, they continued to rely on their superstar. But it would become plainly evident that he couldn't shoulder the burden alone.
Gasol rolls to the bucket. Here's Bryant. No! Raptors win! 106-105.
Where are your guys? Where's your team mentally right now?
Soft mentality right now. It's expecting that repeating is going to be easy, so everybody's a little fragile right now.
As the season wore on, the mission of leading the Lakers was starting to take a physical toll on Kobe.
Kobe came up gimpy on that play.
There's a variety of things that went on with him in the course of the year.
And Kobe plays hurt, injured, tweaked ankles, dislocated fingers, bad wrists, back spasms, night in and night out.
He broke his finger, he had a hip situation, hurt his knee. Finally had to submit to the fact that I'm doing a disservice to myself, and now I'm going to have to sit back here a little bit and recuperate.
Well, we're trying to get something going. We haven't been able to get anybody going.
For the first time in 236 games, Bryant would have to watch the Lakers try to find a way to win without him. But stepping up to take responsibility was the Lakers' other all-star, Pau Gasol.
Blocked by Gasol. Lakers pushing 3-on-2. Odom in for ground loft. Inside for Gasol. A touch finish.
With Pau lighting a fire under the team, LA supporting cast was proving that the Lakers could be successful, even without their leading man.
Stolen by Vujacic. Behind the back bounce. Benga. Mind over matter for the Lakers tonight. Shorthanded. A statement victory.
Josh Howell answers the moment.
We have a team of guys that can play, 1 through 13. We all stay ready and take advantage of those opportunities when they come.
The machine is oiled up and ready to go tonight.
Playing hard, playing defense, sharing the ball, knocking down shots.
We found a way to weather the storm for guys to step up. We played some of our best team basketball.
Beautiful setup. Lamar dishing it. Everybody can celebrate as the Lakers win again without Kobe.
You guys playing well without Kobe, though.
I want him back, though.
Yeah, oh, hey, we all want him back. Over here in the stands, we want him back. And out on the court, I know you guys do.
Got to get stops against one of the league's most dangerous scorers, the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. Says he's ready to roll tonight.
After being sidelined for 3 weeks, Kobe made his return in Memphis.
Grizzlies 98, Lakers 96.
And he didn't miss a beat.
Artest gets it inbounds on the wing for Gasol. Up top Odom, right wing Kobe, a pull-up long three. Buries the shot! Kobe Bryant, the basketball maestro. The Lakers welcoming Kobe Bryant back into the lineup. He electrifies a Memphis crowd tonight.
2 weeks later, he delivered more drama against Toronto.
Kobe, 5 seconds, curling, hanging, shooting, and sticks it from the baseline. 1.9 seconds.
The best closer in the game has done it again.
He has bailed them out 6 times this year.
For all his last-second heroics, the Lakers had learned that Kobe could only carry them so far. And with the season winding down, they were plagued by a troubling stretch of inconsistency.
Saw bad outlet pass for Odom up the far side, stolen by Outlaw. Outlaw down the paint, hands to Kaman, who shadows him there. And Kaman flushes with the right hand. The Lakers blown away by the Spurs by 20.
At a time when they hoped to be peaking for the playoffs, the Lakers instead went backwards, losing 7 of their last 11 games.
This is a good old-fashioned beating.
they have some stuff they have to work out if they're going to win another title.
We faltered at the end. We finished on a poor note. And now, I think people were questioning us if we did indeed had enough stuff to repeat as champs.
As the Lakers put the struggles of the regular season behind them and looked to the playoffs, they couldn't escape from a cloud of uncertainty.
So the Los Angeles Lakers, a wounded champion, all kinds of question marks.
Can the Lakers repeat? Well, here in Los Angeles, there's a lot of doubt between the injuries and the ineffective play down the end of the regular season.
We're going to have to prove out there and show out there where we at. And if we lost a little bit of that respect or that edge, we got to get it back starting today.
It's really hard to repeat, with injuries and playing with, everyone wants to beat the defending champs. You get everyone's best game every night.
And though they began the postseason against the 8th seed in the West, it would be no easy task. The Oklahoma City Thunder had won 50 games, behind the youngest scoring champion in NBA history, Kevin Durant. But with their swarming defense, the Lakers would give him a rude introduction to playoff basketball.
Durant forces that one. It has not been an easy playoff debut for this young star. Durant blocked by Bryant. Good hustle play on defense.
They're playing harder. They're the defending champions and you're letting them play harder. No, we want to get to where they are.
The Lakers wasted no time answering the doubters, coming out strong on their home floor in Game 1.
Here's Bynum, left block, spins into a crowd and puts it down. Nasty finish by Bynum.
That is the kind of nasty attitude the Lakers need to play with. You got to send a message to this young team. This is a whole other level, fellas.
After winning the series opener, the Lakers took Game 2 as well, with Kobe scoring 39 points. And it was clear that the champs wouldn't easily relinquish their throne.
The defending champions have held serve in Los Angeles and head to Oklahoma City up 2-0 in this best-of-7 series.
As the scene shifted to the home of the Thunder, fans were ready for the first ever playoff game in Oklahoma City.
Oh man, this is pandemonium out here. This city's been waiting for something like this for so long. It's going to be electric in there.
And the crowd is louder than it's ever been in this building.
Fueled by the energy of the crowd, the league's youngest team showed its resiliency and came storming back into the series.
Westbrook up the crossover, has daylight. Down the lane! Oh, he rears back! Thumps it down with a right-hand sledgehammer over Odom and says, "Let's go, crowd, let's go!"
Oklahoma City is probably the one team that we didn't need to face. And for the person who doesn't really follow basketball, they probably wanted a full sweep. But I think we knew this was going to be a very challenging series.
And that will just about do it here in Game 3. It's a series after all.
The Lakers were learning that the Thunder weren't here just to make some noise. They were a legitimate threat. And in Game 4, they showed just how dangerous they could be.
The Lakers are blown out here in Game 4, 110-89.
The youngest team in the NBA demolishes the defending champs and evens up the series.
You understand this is a tough test. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight. So they defended their home court. Now it's our turn. Simple as that.
Facing a greater challenge than anyone expected, the Lakers renewed their focus and dominated Game 5 back in LA.
Fisher right wing mid-post pass to Gasol. Touch bounce for a cutting Bynum down the lane, and he slams it in.
When they put us on our heels a little bit, now we were like, okay, well, we got to bounce back. We have to get ready. We got to be more proactive in preparation and everything. So I think that really changed that series when we got our minds together and we just went out and played as hard as they did and matched their intensity.
This is the sharpest the Lakers have been in any of the games. Just no answer for Oklahoma City.
And that will do it. Game 5 to the Lakers in resounding fashion.
Heading home, the Thunder were determined to push the series to the limit.
Going back up there for Game 6, I mean, that was really exciting. So I was looking forward to seeing how we would respond in that environment.
Once again, the champs were put to the test. Late in the game, down by 1, they were staring at the prospect of a Game 7.
You got to double him. You cannot leave him one-on-one. Bryant for the lead. Misses. Gasol backs it in with 0.5 seconds remaining.
Lakers by 1. The Spaniard just pushed the Lakers into the second round.
It was a huge play. I mean, getting the offensive rebound put back in to win the game, I think really was, kind of the catalyst to developing, that moxie and that toughness we needed.
And after 6 grueling games, the Lakers have finally dispatched the upstart Thunder.
Oklahoma City gave us a great test and a great start. It shook us up a little bit, and it really woke us up and got us ready for the rest of the playoffs.
Next up were the Utah Jazz, a team hungry for revenge after 2 straight playoff setbacks to the Lakers and 14 consecutive defeats in LA.
We came to win, baby! Win on 3, 1, 2, 3, win! Let's go, man.
But for the Jazz, Game 1 was an all too familiar story.
Kobe spinning turnaround shot, puts it down, and 1.
Led by their star, LA held on for the win, and Game 2 was much the same. Each time the Jazz got close, Kobe turned them away.
1 second. Kobe Bryant gets the basket, and the Lakers are turning on the heat just when they need it. That's the experience of a championship team.
Fast break, Kobe flushes and sinks Game 2 with it.
Play against him, you don't like to, but you have to certainly admire everything he's about when he steps on the floor. He's a no-nonsense guy and always has been.
The Lakers open round 2 with a 2-0 series lead in this Western Conference semifinal and continue their mastery over the Jazz here in Los Angeles.
As the scene shifted to Utah, the Lakers knew they would be facing another hostile environment, along with a Jazz team desperate to climb back into the series.
Picked up by Darren, 3-on-2 break. Matthews left side to the rack, flushed it, and fouled by Lamar Odom.
We know from battling this team for years now that you have to knock them out. They're not going to quit.
And after the Lakers trailed by 13, it was Fisher who helped bring them back with a clutch shooting that has become his trademark.
Pitch to Fish, a deep 3. He knocked it down! Once again, Fisher, and another big shot. That's right.
He gives us great lifts at critical points when he feels big buckets are needed. He doesn't have a problem stepping up and just shooting them like they were in any other time of the game.
And that may have just put this semifinal series on ice.
After surviving Game 3, the Lakers left no doubt in Game 4, dominating the Jazz on their way to a second-round sweep.
The Lakers advance to the Western Conference Finals.
Winning at Utah is one of the hardest things to do in this league. And to do what we did to Utah, I think kind of sent a message to the rest of the league that the Lakers aren't just satisfied. They're here to compete and to win again.
In the Western Conference Finals, they would face 2-time MVP Steve Nash and the rejuvenated Phoenix Suns, a team riding a wave of momentum.
Well, they were one of the hottest teams the second half of the season. Steve Nash, back to his MVP ways. Grant Hill, Amari Stoudemire having a terrific year.
As well as the Suns were playing, they had no answer for the Lakers' leader. As the stakes in the playoffs grew higher, Kobe was getting hotter.
But Kobe's got that bounce in his step right now.
Yes, and it counts.
Boy, Bryant has found his stroke now. He just cannot be stopped.
He is on fire.
Everything that the Lakers wanted to do in this game, they've been able to do. And this guy right here has been spectacular. That is 40 for Kobe Bryant.
In Game 2, the Lakers rolled to their 8th consecutive playoff win. And now, they seem to be unstoppable.
The defending champions continue to plow their way to the NBA Finals as they handle the Suns here in Game 2. The Lakers now 2 wins away from the main event.
Returning home to Phoenix, the Suns knew it would take more than a change of scenery to turn things around.
Whatever energy they come with, ours have to be more, okay? Whatever intensity level they bring, we have to be one step ahead of that, one step above that.
And in Game 3, the Suns looked like a different team.
Stoudemire from Nash. And these are things we did not see in Games 1 and 2.
Unable to stop Kobe in Los Angeles, the Suns turned to a new wrinkle, a zone defense, and it would give the Lakers fits.
Every moment goes by, the Suns are getting more confident playing this zone defense because the Lakers still are struggling to score against it.
We're beating ourselves, guys. 5 turnovers this quarter.
Phoenix said, we're not going to allow Kobe to do this. He's not going to be the guy that's going to beat us. We're going to set a zone up here, and they're going to have to do something different.
After losing Game 3, the Lakers would learn in Game 4 that the Suns had other ways to beat them as well.
Dragic on the drive, in the corner, Dudley for 3. Suzanne! Oh, brother, listen to this sellout crowd.
Their bench was doing a great job for them, and they were really playing at such a high level.
Dragic working against Fisher. Dragic on a spin.
Game 4 to Phoenix. With the series even at 2 games apiece, the champs staggered back to Los Angeles.
And now all the pressure goes back on the Lakers to make sure they take care of their home court.
Facing yet another playoff test against a surging opponent, the Lakers would try to regain control of the series in Game 5.
Baseball pass down the paint for Gasol, extends and lays it in.
The Lakers are playing tonight with so much energy here on their home court.
But in the final minute, with LA clinging to the lead,
3-point lead for the Lakers.
They watched their key addition make a crucial mistake.
Gasol with the rebound. Artest wide open for 3. Why did he take the shot?
To have the ball with 50 seconds left and another chance to run 20 more seconds off the shot clock or whatever and get a better look would have been a great situation.
That's a terrible play. You got a brand new shot clock. That's exactly what the Phoenix Suns wanted him to do.
I think that was a shot that had it gone in, it would have been a backbreaker and a huge momentum play. Even though he missed it, I like that Ron Artest a lot. So we were all upset. Coach was upset. Don't take that shot. It's a bad shot.
Look at Phil Jackson saying, what are you doing taking that shot?
And Ron's like, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep playing. I'm just going to keep playing and it'll work itself out. And that's kind of the makeup of this team. It happened, okay, move on, and let's continue to get the job done despite what we just went through.
With new life and one more chance, the Suns would make the Lakers pay for their blunder.
Standing drive, back to Richards, and another 3. Good! Shazam! This game is tied with 3.5 seconds remaining. Oh, brother!
And now the Lakers would look for some heroics of their own.
Kobe breaks towards him, trying to find some space, catches in the corner, turns, shoots a 3. No good. Artest, the rebound, puts it back in, and the Lakers have pulled a miracle. In a signature postseason moment in Los Angeles.
Ron Artest with the game winner for the Lakers.
From GOAT to hero in a matter of seconds is a remarkable thing in this game, and the redemption of that. We're really happy for him. I was very supportive and happy for his success.
The one thing that always brought us together is our team chemistry. And we always found a way in the difficult times when our backs were against the wall. We were always able to come out winning.
The Lakers returned to Phoenix with a chance to close out the series and move on to the finals. And when it came to closing, no one was better than Kobe Bryant.
Bryant waiting, Bryant shot.
Good.
Oh my! Unbelievable shot by
Great
Kobe
defense.
Bryant.
Can't ask for anything more.
And he's flying. He has been the man here.
The champs have outlasted the Suns and now brace themselves for their date with destiny.
Now you go on to play the Boston Celtics. 2 years ago, that team pushed you guys around. They're very physical with you. How is this team more equipped to handle that tough defense for Boston?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how much we matured. They challenged us extremely well in the finals a couple years ago. Now it's a test to see how much we've grown.
In the Eastern Conference, the Boston Celtics had faced their own share of doubters after stumbling into the playoffs as the 4th seed. 2 years removed from the title, the aging Celtics would have to run a gauntlet of superstars, beginning with a former champion, Dwayne Wade.
Here we go. One of the defining moments of the season about to unfold. Pierce with 3 seconds. Now takes 2 steps. Fall away at the buzzer. Got it!
Oh, it's over. It's over. Sound the bell.
The Boston Celtics leave no doubt tonight, and they eliminate the Miami Heat in 5.
In the second round, Boston would face the Cleveland Cavaliers, who finished the season with the league's best record and were led by two-time MVP LeBron James.
I know you all want to win, but you got to do it together.
The year the Cavs were supposed to win an NBA championship is going to end in the second round. And the finish! Wow! The Boston Celtics with the huge upset. They advance to the conference finals. And LeBron James' season is over.
But for the Celtics, one more imposing obstacle was standing in their path. The league's most dominating big man, Dwight Howard, and his Orlando Magic were waiting in the Eastern Conference Finals.
They are playing their best ball at the perfect time of year. Off the deflection, he'll get it back. Rondo takes it away, spins, puts it up, banks it in. Rajon Rondo putting on a show.
The team that everyone thought had faded away wins the Eastern Conference Championship.
The Boston Celtics are going back to the NBA Finals. Second time in 3 years.
Showtime! Hoorah! Showtime! Hoorah! Showtime! Hoorah!
Happy for this win, but we got bigger goals than this. Way bigger goals than this.
There had been 63 previous NBA Finals, and in 32 of them, either the Celtics or the Lakers had been crowned as champions. 11 times these two storied franchises had gone head-to-head, with the NBA's ultimate prize on the line.
Boston is where a capacity crowd sees the NBA championship struggle between the Minneapolis Lakers and the Boston Celtics.
Their first meeting came in 1959, when the Celtics swept the Minneapolis Lakers.
The great Boston team goes on to win the National Basketball Association championship.
The Lakers moved to Los Angeles the following year, but their struggles against Boston followed them.
The Boston Celtics are world champions.
They would lose to their nemesis in the finals 6 more times in the 1960s.
I hated green for a long time. I wouldn't wear anything green. It just got to the point where it was so frustrating to hear the noise and shouting after games that we had lost.
When the rivalry was renewed in the 80s, the Lakers earned some revenge, beating Boston 2 out of 3 times in the finals. But when the teams met again in 2008, the more physical Celtics outmuscled the Lakers and reclaimed the NBA crown in a Game 6 blowout.
Banner number 17, soon to be raised to the rafters.
They beat us up pretty bad. You know, just the way we lost, the feeling left afterwards. It was painful. It was painful to go through.
The Boston Celtics utter destruction of the Lakers here in Game 6.
Losing to Boston hurt a lot. You know, watching them celebrate, do the Gatorade bath, you know, up by 30, and then while they clean the court, we have to sit there and we'll listen to the fans yell at us.
There's no doubt that you run through the idea that this is something you want to avenge. A team that had a celebration on the floor, on their building before time was out. And so that left a lingering feeling about having a chance to have some set of a payback.
2 years ago, it was simply basketball fantasy. Now it's not only reality, it is destiny. The last 2 champions of the NBA and the 2 most storied franchises in the game's history meet for the championship of the NBA.
I know Boston feels that the championship trophy is on loan to us, but we are the defending champs.
The Lakers have been waiting to put a beat down back on the Celtics.
Tonight is the night, baby. We're gonna have to fight every possession, every loose ball, every rebound. We cannot wait. We're going right now, right at tip-off, we're going. This is our turn, let's go.
Go. What time is it? Game time who?
Right from the start of Game 1, it was clear that this was a tougher Laker team. And when push came to shove, they were ready to stand up to the Celtics.
We've got a pile up underneath already.
And here we go, took all of 27 seconds as tempers flare.
If your toughness and your heart and your determination had been questioned at some point, even if it was a couple years ago, there was no question that those thoughts were still with us.
No one carried more bitter memories than the man criticized the most in 2008, Pau Gasol. And this time, he served notice that he wasn't going to back down from anyone.
An offensive rebound put back for Pau Gasol.
Boston's whole thing was to try and take him out physically. So this has been 2 years of Pau coming to terms with that kind of a game and that kind of a mentality. And that's the resiliency that I love about him.
You know what has changed from 08 so far? That Garnett-Gasol matchup. Pau Gasol is winning it tonight.
Great baseline Gasol, spins at the block, leads up with the hook, and hits. They had Garnett right on his back.
You gotta come aggressively, right to the elbow. I mean, right now.
Kobe doubled, high post right past Gasol, leaning shot is perfectly through.
And it wasn't just at the offensive end where Gasol was standing tall against the Celtics.
Garnett, Tark shoots over Gasol, Gasol got a piece.
Gray frees himself from Gasol, fade away Gasol, blocked the shot.
Rondo works underneath, and his reverse got blocked by Pau Gasol. Gasol has been a defensive presence.
There was extra motivation for what we went through in 2008, and personally, I wanted to, give my heart out.
While Pau had set the tone, the entire Laker team was ready to meet the Celtic challenge head-on, and the champs seemed well on their way to a Game 1 knockout.
The Lakers tonight, they've opened up a 20-point lead.
They're the desperate team now. We got this lead. They got to forge into it. They're going to run at you.
Despite having a huge mountain to climb, the Celtics weren't about to concede.
And Rasheed Wallace gets it done.
Now we're fighting, and now we're doing it together. Stay into it, man. Stay into it.
Pierce driving to the rim and lays it in. The lead down to 11.
We're giving up easy baskets here. It's 10-1 this quarter. Let's go, man. Pick it up, man. Let's go.
From that point on, nothing came easily for the Celtics, as the Lakers smothered any remaining hopes of a Boston comeback.
In it lane, Davis blocked out of his hands, and then Artest rips it from Davis. Lakers have it. Belmar up the floor to Gasol, and he slams it in.
The finishing touch of Game 1, and that certainly was the guy to deliver it, because he's been throwing haymakers from the opening bell. Man.
Gasol finished with 23 points and 14 rebounds, providing what had been missing in 2008. But instead of looking back, the Lakers set their sights on what was ahead.
You know how this went 2 years ago. Was it important for you personally to make a statement?
Win the first game. That was my mindset tonight. There was no statements to be made. Our goal is to win the championship, not just the first game, and not just to make a statement here.
It's do or die time for the Boston Celtics in Game 2 of the NBA Finals against the Lakers. At only 3 teams in NBA Finals history have come back when trailing 0-2.
How you doing? Everything's good. I got no complaints.
I got a complaint. Celtics took down the game.
Get used to it. It's just one game. Until somebody loses a home game, it's going to be a 7-game series.
We got to put our souls in this game. You know what you're supposed to do. But we got to go do it.
And the most effective thing the Celtics would do was put the ball in the hands of Ray Allen. He opened Game 2 with a scorching display of shooting and showed no signs of cooling off.
Left corner 3 try, good by Allen. Allen has hit 2 in a row.
A good sign for the Celtics to get Ray Allen involved early.
Run!
Rondo drops for a trailer. It's Sugar Ray. It's a 3, and it's good.
Nice. Now, target guy right now is Allen.
Allen already looked like he's locked and loaded.
Allen, 3 right down the pipe again. Ray Allen, 5 for 5 on 3-point hits.
Go back and get Ray. Ray, you can come out this way, all right?
They're looking for him right now all every play.
How about his eyes? Sending a message. Don't talk, just show me the eyes. You leave his body, that's all he wants.
Allen, again, another 3. 6 for 6 from downtown. Rondo, shovel pass, trailer, Ray Allen 3, got it! His 7th of the first half. He has tied an NBA record, and the Celtics lead by 13.
While Allen was putting on a one-man show, the Lakers were relying on contributions from their entire cast. And with everyone playing a role, LA's offense finally began to click as the champs began to close the gap in the final minutes of the first half.
Bryant, a touch to Bynum for the jam.
Now that was absolutely sensational. So faces against Perkins, dribbles around him, up to the rim, and hits a driving reverse dunk. And one. There we go. Batted around with 5 seconds. Williams, outlet pass stolen by Bryant. 1 second, pulls up from 3, and buries it at the horn. The Lakers will cut the deficit to 6 as we reach halftime.
Initiate the action, guys. Take it to this team, initiate it, all right? Here we go, 1, 2, 3.
Continuing to look for each other, the Lakers would carry their momentum right into the third quarter. And with the triangle offense working to perfection, they erased what was left of the Celtic lead.
Gasol lobs in for Bynum, and he slams it in. Alley-oop connection.
Bryant at the top, right corner, Artest. He sticks at 3, and the Laker rally rolls on.
Bryant the drive, hesitation, up and under.
Counter, and a foul.
But while the Lakers were rolling, Ray Allen kept firing, shooting his way into history.
Back out to Allen for 3, puts it in. Well, that's an NBA Finals record. Most threes in a Finals game is 8th.
When you get one of the best shooters of all time going, that's the danger in a player like Ray Allen. You know, he single-handedly kept them in that game.
As the third quarter gave way to the fourth, the teams had battled to a standstill.
One more pass. We had it going great, and then we got away from it, all right? We got to get back to one more pass.
While the first half belonged to Ray Allen, another Celtic hero would emerge in the fourth quarter. Sensational throughout the playoffs, Rajon Rondo took over the game with his all-around brilliance.
Rolling towards the basket, extra pass to Rondo, comes in the backside and scores. Under the basket, Perk catches, floats it, blocked by Gasol. Rondo gets an offensive rebound, dives in and scores to give the Celtics the lead.
Fisher run off the three. Rondo blocked his shot from behind.
And with the game still tight, Rondo capped off his triple-double performance with a crushing blow that helped finish off the Lakers.
Rondo guarded by Bryant.
Ray coming off the screen, puts to the floor, return to Rondo. He's open, 19 feet. Got it! Monster shot by Rajon Rondo. And that is where game 2 will end. With an epic performance from Ray Allen, an extraordinary game from Rajon Rondo, and the Boston Celtics even the NBA Finals at a game apiece.
I love being the enemy and haters, especially when you win. There's nothing like it.
This could be the last time you play here. It better not be the last time you play here. But it could be. You don't change your ways.
It's not supposed to be easy. I mean, it's the finals. The reason why we remember the great Lakers-Celtics games of the 80s is because they were battling 6 games, 7 games to the tooth and nail. And, you know, that's what it takes to be a champion.
The NBA Finals are back home in Boston.
Boston's such a very down-to-earth city, you know, simple people in a strange way.
The 10-pound lobster, that's New England. That's Boston right there. You know, it's something you can't get anywhere else.
I want to introduce you Laker fans to a friend of ours called Red Auerbach. We go way back to the Boston Garden days.
After losing the home court advantage, the Lakers headed to Boston with something to prove.
It was really important for us to go in there and establish ourselves. We didn't win a game there in 2008. We had to let them know that we can beat them in a playoff atmosphere.
They came and took one from us so we could get one right back right away, not wait, not let them continue to build confidence. It's huge for this series.
Here's the ball. Jump, man. Let's not eat to the game. Good job. Celtics! Hoorah! Celtics! Hoorah! Celtics! 1, 2, 3.
Winning on the road had been a tough task for the Lakers. Making it even tougher would be a determined Kevin Garnett, who was out for redemption.
Into Garnett. Garnett wheels into the lane, fakes up and under, and lays it in.
And that's a big bucket for Garnett. Been struggling mightily in the first 2 games, especially on the offensive end.
Rondo with a lob pass to Garnett.
We wondered where Kevin Garnett's confidence level might have gone. Well, it's back, folks.
They had all 12 of their points in the paint. 3 offensive rebounds, put back, 2 fast break baskets. You got to initiate the offense, initiate the action to get them off us.
Kobe driving to the rim, shoots it in, and draws the foul.
Fisher ahead to Odom. Odom on the drive, gets inside, foul. As the Lakers have opened up an 8-point lead.
Still got a sprint. You know what I'm saying? Bryant down the paint, lobs inside for Gasol, turns in midair and hammers in. Exceptional championship basketball by the Lakers.
The Lakers were succeeding not just with execution, but effort. And Kobe's will helped them push the lead to 12 by halftime.
Kobe saves it from going out of bounds under the bottom. A great hustle play by Kobe Bryant is a huge 3-point opportunity for LA late in the first half.
This is the quietest that you will hear this arena.
Right now! Right now! Come on! Everything you got! Everything! Come on!
Garnett spinning on Gasol, fading, tough shot switch. But all Kevin Garnett tonight for the Celtics in Game 3.
You gotta keep playing together and keep sharing that ball. Keep sharing that ball.
The Celtics would fight back in the second half, taking advantage of the point guard matchup, where 35-year-old Derek Fisher was trying to keep up with the younger, quicker Rajon Rondo.
Rondo winning the battle of the point guards tonight.
But Derek has really been under the gun, the last year or two, for no other reason, just because of his age. But he finds a way to make a contribution.
A lot of his role is about a spokesman, about reading the tenor of the team, knowing what to say as a basketball captain.
Let me ask everybody here. If they would have told us before the game even started, we're going to fast forward to the beginning of the fourth quarter, and you're going to be up 6 in the NBA Finals to win the title, will we take it? Yes, sir. Will we take it? Yes, sir. Let's go. Let's go. Bring on 3. 1, 2, 3.
The latest chapter about to unfold. This championship rivalry for the ages.
In a tight fourth quarter, Fisher was more than just the Lakers' vocal leader. He was their driving force, delivering in the postseason as he had so many times before.
He's a winner. There's guys who are really, really talented, and there's guys who just know how to win. And those are the guys you want on your team.
Derek Fisher, not afraid to take the big shots. Give me this guy any day of the week.
He's carrying the Lakers.
Every down floor, man. At home with 2 minutes to go. This is our pockets right here. This is what we want. This is what we grind for right here.
Garnett across the lane, turnaround jumper, good. 25 points.
Pulling to within 2, the Celtics were surging, and the game would come down to a key possession. Just the kind of situation Derek Fisher has always cherished.
There are times where I just have to stop and just look around, the arena and, think about how blessed I am to be in this position in this moment.
Game 3, hanging in the balance.
Taking in those mental snapshots and those moments.
Fisher rebounds weak side with 53 seconds left.
Realizing that they won't always be there and how important it is to give everything I have while it's there.
Fisher right down the paint, hits the driving scoop on glass, and is fouled. Derek Fisher adding to his postseason legacy. He scores 11 in the fourth as the Lakers come to Boston and hold on to defeat the Celtics.
When your organization needs you the most, when history matters the most, when legacy matters the most, Fisher comes through.
I'm sorry I'm getting emotional, but, you know, we work hard in this game. And sometimes things don't go your way, but you just got to keep working hard, keep believing in yourself and in your team. And this is just a great win for our organization.
Let's go, Daddy. Get us there, boy.
Two more, fellas. Two more.
He's been criticized quite a bit, but truthfully, you know, he's done it over and over and over again. So it's almost, you know, his responsibility to our team to do these things. He's the heart and soul of this team. Simple as that.
Well, my whole family, all the kids, you know, mom, dad, the wife, everybody just went green.
For the Celtics, it would take more than the luck of the green, as the Lakers were out to push them to the brink of elimination.
They got to stay together, take the momentum from the last game and bring it into this game and just build on it.
We should come out tonight as motivated as we did on Tuesday night. We should come out hungrier, because win this game tonight, and now that gives you an opportunity to do something special.
Let's go, LA! Let's go, baby. Gotta have it. Get one, man.
25 years and a day after their first Lakers championship win over their arch rival, the Lakers take the floor in Boston with a chance to drive a stake through the Celtics' heart here tonight. Celtics inbound to Pierce, right wing, curling around his screen, top of the key. Pierce up with a leaner and hits.
Pierce fakes, nice move on Artest. Gets it to go. Paul Pierce, a terrific start.
With the Celtics desperately needing a win, they would look to Paul Pierce early and often.
Very aggressive by Pierce.
10 points already here in the first period.
All day. Tag, shot. They can't switch it, so all day.
Keep your movement. Boom, 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 boom.
Kobe had been quiet for much of the first half, but that was about to change.
Out front, Bryant nails a three. Kobe pushes LA up. Bryant again, another three from straight on.
Lakers 37, Celtics 33. Odom gives to Gasol right block. Gasol with Wallace on his back, backs him down, spins, pivots up, extends up, and banks it in.
Artest in the top, left side Gasol. He hits.
Who's leading in this ballgame? Are you happy about that? Yeah, I'm happy about that. All right, let's take it home.
What they didn't expect was that Boston's supporting cast would steal the spotlight.
Davis wheels to the rim for the right and then reverses it from the left side with the right hand. Robinson coming left. Now Odom has picked him up. He drives him to the lane and lays it in.
The Celtics bench on the verge of winning this game all by themselves.
Hey, listen up, listen up. Hey, let's finish the game. Finish the game.
They're taking it to the basket on it. Just take a stop. Get a charge on Davis. Stop him. He's killed us.
We're getting great stuff. Great stuff. Just stay together. Keep moving that ball.
On the drive, Tony Allen. Davis the rebound. Backs him in. And a foul.
That man's a beast out there.
He has been a monster in Game 4, and the Celtics have a 6-point lead.
Hey, it's still a two-possession game. We got to get a stop here, all right?
The Celtics knew that one last stop could finish the Lakers for good.
Kobe up court, guarded by Ray Allen. 42 seconds left. Kobe driving, baseline right. Pass outside, kicked away by Rondo.
Rondo with the lay-in.
A Game 4 victory to tie the series in 2.
Final score here in Boston. Celtics 96, Lakers 89.
Big game! Big game!
They really stepped on it in the fourth quarter. Their bench outplayed us in that sequence, and even with all that, at the end of the game, we had our shot at it and couldn't contain what we had to do.
Character, will, determination, togetherness, just coming together and playing hard. That's all it was.
Great team effort. Great team effort.
There's always frustration when you lose at this point of the year. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes you need a swift kick in your butt, whatever, kind of get you going again.
No team's won 2 in a row yet. All right, so that's our goal now. All right, let's be the first to win 2 in a row.
I was upset that we lost the game, and my philosophy is if we're going to be champions, we're going to have to take it from them. And these guys they're not going to give you anything, especially us.
This is the last game that'll be played in Boston in this season.
LA! Last home game, so I'll take advantage of the opportunity with our crowd behind us and get the win.
This is, for one team, putting them one win away from the NBA championship.
For the team, obviously, it's a very, very important game. For me personally, it's the most important game in my career.
Let's go Lakers tonight! 3-2. We're going to take this back in there.
All you have to do is go out and execute.
Let's go, baby. Gotta have it, baby. Y'all know it's at stake, baby. We already know.
Tonight, we have another opportunity to take a step closer to what we all been working for. We the best, man. We the best. Come on.
Get Tahoe!
Over the years, the Celtics and the Lakers have had many battles, and tonight should be no exception at all.
It's Bryant calling for a screen, gets it right wing from Bynum. Lead bounce for Bynum, extends to the cup and banks it in.
Bynum's in pain. He's playing through it, though.
After having fluid drained from his knee, Andrew Bynum persevered and gave the Lakers a lift.
Right wing turns the corner, lobs inside for Bynum, who thumps it down.
Andrew Bynum grimaces after that play, and it's a slight limp again.
And the Lakers have scored the last 8 to take a 2-point lead.
Just keep playing. Hey, guys, we got to make the little plays all night. Offense and defense. Keep moving that rock.
Rondo off and running, right of the lane. Pierce takes flight and lays it in.
The Celtics rallied behind their captain.
Takes flight and lays it in.
The Celtics rallied behind their captain, Paul Pierce, who scored 15 first-half points en route to his best game of the series.
Pulling up from the left elbow and hits again.
Pierce is playing with a lot of confidence right now. No matter who's in front of him, they can't guard him.
They shoot 65%, we're shooting 33%, and we're here, ready in the ball game. Offensively, be ready to shoot the shots. Be ready to shoot shots when you have opportunities.
With the Lakers in dire need of offense in the second half, there was little doubt as to who would try to provide it.
When you walk out there on the court with him, there's this feeling of invincibility, and he has that look in his eyes, and I think the opposing team knows that the ball is going to go to him.
His focus and his intensity seems to always be at another level, at another notch.
Spins, baseline, tough shot, and he knocks it down. There aren't 5 guys in the world who can hit that shot. Kobe is one of them.
In the third quarter, Kobe was taking over the game.
Bryant dribbling right around a Bynum screen, pulling up from the corner. Hits again. Boy, these are tough shots from Bryant. Dribbles once to the left, fires from 3, and hits again. 14 straight Lakers points.
Don't overreact to Kobe Bryant, number one, all right? We want to make sure we stop everybody else, too, all right? Offensively, keep playing together.
The Celtics would counter Bryant with a hot hand of their own.
Boy, Pierce operating on all cylinders, and he has 20.
The two stars were battling for control of the game and the series.
Goes past Artest, up to the rim, and lays it home.
Pierce and Bryant dueling here. Paul Pierce is putting on a clinic on the offensive end, and Bryant wants to step up to the challenge.
Inside to Kobe, pushes it in through with his right hand. High pass from Fisher. It was the only play Kobe had to make.
Hey, just keep playing.
Artest turns back inside. Up top, Kobe, straightaway 3.
Bryant from way downtown. Bang! Kobe Bryant again! 17 points in the period.
I tell you, we're almost running out of adjectives to explain this guy.
Good dog. Keep going, White. Keep sharing that ball, moving that ball.
But in the fourth quarter, the game began to slip away from Kobe and the Lakers, as all the critical plays seemed to be going in Boston's direction.
Rondo puts the Celtics up by 10. I call that Grand Theft Rondo.
And in the end, the Celtics sealed the outcome with one remarkable play.
Garnett throws into Pierce in the front court.
Paul Pierce falling out of bounds.
Throws it to Rondo. Rondo, the layup, he banks it in.
The Celtics take Game 5 and a 3-2 series lead in the NBA Finals. The Lakers' championship reign has been pushed to the brink.
Down 3-2 and let a couple opportunities slip away, but it is what it is. Now you go home, you got 2 games at home that you need to win, and pull your boots up and get to work.
You know, when we lose or we win, we don't talk about it much. It's key for you to let that game go.
Sometimes you gotta admit that the other team played better. We had to find a way to put it behind us and come into the Game 6 with a fresh mindset.
You guys remember what we did in Boston, right? It's where we posted up Kobe on that guard-to-guard lag. That action right there.
No matter what obstacles the Lakers face, they can always count on the calming influence of head coach Phil Jackson.
I would give him the ball. He wasn't even asking for it. Why would you give him the basketball? You got your guys on the curl cut here, which we talked about. He's just standing around over there.
Well, that's the great thing about Coach. I think a lot of teams, have so many waves of up and down, and he does a great job of keeping us even keel and keeping us focused.
Entering the finals with a record 10 titles as a head coach, Jackson has won with a style all his own, one that combines his mastery of the X's and O's with his many different methods of motivating his players.
He's got a great, or not, I don't know about a great, but unique sense of humor. He always tries to mess with you, just pick on you enough to get you to react.
Capiche, you got that? You're late. We're not playing the way we got it. We got to get him under it. Of course it's not easy. None of this is easy. That's why we're pros.
I love when he's tough on me. I respond to that very well, rather than somebody patting me on the back and always telling me what I do is good.
Some of you guys, get anticipating that, your role's going to be Jordan, your role. Don't anticipate your role. Anticipate what I'm going to do.
Phil's ability to really just, at least outwardly, give the impression that things are fine, we will be okay. Yet on the inside, he's boiling.
Okay, now let's take a deep breath and get ourselves collected.
I've always felt that the knowledge that I gained from Phil and the way that he coaches the game is what gave me an edge on the rest of the competition.
Your skin.
Some people may not understand his methods, but if you've played for him, you understand him completely and you know what he's about. I mean, he's just absolutely brilliant at bringing a group together to accomplish one common goal.
And through all the highs and lows of their drive to repeat, they needed Phil's leadership more than ever.
This year for Phil was another masterpiece for him in terms of how he handled the work. He just kept it nice and easy and remained inside his character the whole time.
Now our back's against the wall, we're going home, and this is what we want to do. One game at a time, one play, one quarter, go out there and play it.
Things could have unraveled had we not had a coach that really could just stand right there and face a storm and just keep putting one foot in front of the other.
1, 2, 3, right.
Game 6 in the NBA Finals, and we were down 3-2. Elimination game. Our backs were against the wall.
Kobe's words in the locker room after Game 5 really got everybody in the right mentality. He basically said, look, we're obviously disappointed that, we're down 3-2, but let's not let this carry over.
The Lakers returning home, right on the edge, a loss tonight, and there is no tomorrow for the defending champs.
It's amazing what a home court does. Just the difference in energy.
Lakers, we got this.
There's no tomorrow for us. We got to make a stand. We got to make a stand tonight.
This is the Boston Celtics. I mean, they're rising to the occasion. I thought they did a heck of a job in Boston. In Boston, but not in our house.
We're a great home team. So it's confident.
One thing led to another. It's like I don't see anything that says TD Garden around here. This is Staples Center. This is Kobe. Kobe's built this place. This is his house, his living room. You expect to come into his house and take his food and put your feet up on his coffee table?
Only one team can win tonight.
And who's that?
That's the Celtics.
We can play them on the move. We can play them anywhere. If we play how we play, doesn't matter where we play. All right? So it's all about the how.
Imagine if you're a basketball player and somebody tells you, all you have to do is win 2 home games and you're the champion. If you can't do that, you're not the champion. The Lakers, it's in their hand.
Out front, Bryant gets it back from Gasol, and he scored.
Wide open three, got it. Artest atoning for some bad offense in this series.
Another steal on a bad pass. Bryant ahead to Gasol, strides down the lane.
The Lakers coming out swinging.
The Lakers were in control from the start, and things went from bad to worse for the Celtics when they lost center Kendrick Perkins.
Perkins had it, lost it, but he got hit. As Perkins is still down and shaken up on the play. He must have taken a hard hit. That's one of the toughest guys in the NBA.
Perkins is down, and we're getting a full timeout.
Same thing that brought us to this point, we continue to do. Consistent, 48 minutes. That's the key to our success.
Needing a win to save their season, the Lakers knew they couldn't rely on their starters alone, and their bench was ready to answer the call.
Every team has players that can make huge shots and huge plays, but it's the little things, the extra pass, the defensive spurt that our bench provides.
Fantastic effort by Farmar. He dove and skidded at least 7-8 feet.
Lost it on the way in. Odom comes out with the ball. Ahead to Farmar for the jam in transition. It's a 20-point lead for the Lakers.
We sustained that aggressiveness throughout the game, and we were determined to win the ball game and force Game 7.
Leaving no room for doubt, LA kept pouring it on in the second half, while Boston continued to unravel, and the Celtics realized that a precious opportunity to clinch the title was slipping right through their fingers.
We did not see this type of play in games 4 and 5 in Boston. And up to the rim, misses point blank.
That's 3 missed layups by the Celtics already here in the third quarter.
We're missing wide open shots. We're missing layups, all right? They're playing harder than you guys.
Bryant picks it up the floor to Brown, and he knocks the dust off the rim with a right-handed finish. The Lakers have punched the bully in the mouth here in Game 6. Boy, if this was a heavyweight fight, they'd stop it right now. Shut it down! Wow! The Lakers have thrown down the gauntlet with a Game 6 masterpiece. And now the stage is set for an epic Game 7.
It's going to be only the third time in the last 21 years the NBA Finals have gone to a Game 7.
Two most storied franchises in the game's history will meet one last time for the championship.
Now it's about rest and energy. And then push them over the top. Bench, good job, man. You can rest now. Hold on. Careful, fluids. Right. All together. 1, 2, 3.
Break. So we're gonna bounce back, baby. Game 7 for all the marbles. This is what y'all all wanted, right? Lakers versus Celtics, Game 7. All the marbles, baby.
Game 7, it all comes down to one final game. This is it.
This one's for all the marbles. We can do it. Lakers! Oh! Beat LA! Beat LA!
At home, Lakers Celtics. That's all y'all guys wanted to see. It's what we live for, we dream about with love.
make it happen, have some fun.
A series, a season, and perhaps even a legacy would all be on the line.
Game 7s are amazing. 9 months down to 3 hours. It's 120 games down to 4 quarters.
Game 7, what you think it is? You can either let somebody write your story or you write your own story. I ain't letting nobody write my story.
It's our 114th game this year. Probably had as many practices, if not more, right? You know what you have to do out there? You go out there and you beat this team to the balls. You react defensively how you have to react to each other. You operate in your offense the way you know how to do it.
20 years from now, we're going to come back and we're going to have this reunion party. And when we shake hands, let's make sure our rings touch.
First second to the 48th minute. We gotta go hard. Energy, together, playing as one, man. Both hands. Let's go get it. Let's finish this breakfast, man. Let's go. Come on. What time is it? K-Town.
This night was not just packed with drama, it was also rich in history. It marked the 5th time these two franchises had met in a 7th game of the finals. The Lakers had lost all 4, and now looked to write a new chapter. But the Celtics, coming off their loss in Game 6, would now have another shot at the championship. And this time, they were out to make sure it wouldn't get away.
Nobody can stop him in the entire league in open court plays like that.
Rondo straight away lobs it into Garnett. Thunderous two-hand slam.
It's a 7-point lead.
Early on, Kobe was out of sync, but the Lakers got the help they needed from Ron Artest.
Now that was just a great muscle play by Artest.
Right wing pass, knocked away, stolen by Artest.
Good defense, good anticipation by Artest. Strong move to the basket.
Into the front court, down the paint, and hits the left-handed layup.
Lakers will come back to tie it up on a 9-0 run. And the Staples Center crowd in an early frenzy. They are fighting tooth and nail out here. It has been a scrappy first half.
After a grueling march through the postseason, the Lakers would have to dig deep within themselves one last time.
When you fight and battle against very tough opponents, you just get stronger and stronger.
But the Celtics tenaciously held on to their lead, with Rasheed Wallace stepping in for the injured Kendrick Perkins.
Odom on Rasheed Wallace. Sheed holding it over his head. 4 in a shot clock. Sheed turns, uses the window, and banks it home.
Boy, he loves that shot.
Doc Rivers could not have hoped for anything more than what he's getting tonight from Rasheed Wallace.
Let's stretch this lead right here. Let's stretch this lead.
Rondo in the lane, floats the shot, good. Rajon Rondo gives Austin an 11-point lead.
And the Celtics with the largest lead of the night.
You guys are working too hard. Relax out here and play right. You got to get better shots. You do that by making the ball move. The ball's got to move.
Everything the Lakers had worked for was now in jeopardy. But once again, they responded, furiously fighting back in the 3rd quarter.
Gasol, nice spindle using the left hand.
A 4-point lead for Boston. Are we looking at the final 12 minutes of the NBA season?
Imagine you're on your home floor, Game 7, and it all is coming down to the last 12 minutes. You know, what are you going to do?
The Lakers had acquired Ron Artest to help them defend the crown. Now was his time to deliver.
Everyone standing here at Staples.
I wanted to get really emotional and get caught up in the game and maybe get outside my character a little bit, but what I had to do was step back in to the game and just play the game the right way.
Shuffle pass into Artest, up with a leaner, banks it in, and is fouled. Ron Artest, the unlikeliest of heroes in a Game 7, almost single-handedly keeping the Lakers afloat.
And LA's veteran backcourt duo would take over from there.
Fisher for 3. Bang! Tie game! Derek Fisher does it again in the postseason in a big moment. Bryant on the pull-up, puts it in.
can tell, Bryant is sensing the finish line.
The Lakers had the championship within their grasp if they could just hold on.
Get everything we got.
Let's go.
Every loose ball, every rebound. Box out. Tom, let's go, man.
Wallace on Gasol. Shot. It's good. Gasol got it to go. Timeout Celtics. Lakers by 6 with a minute and a half to play.
And in the end, it was only fitting that the Lakers looked to Artest for the finishing touch.
Jump pass to Artest. Fires a three. He got it!
Now you talk about a dagger. That's a dagger in the heart.
People really paying attention during the season. He's had games like that. His emotion and his energy turns the tide for us. It's not something that comes out of nowhere. It's been there. And it showed up just at the most right, perfect, biggest game of the year.
And with that, the Lakers' quest was complete.
In an eternal moment in their storied history, the Los Angeles Lakers have captured their second straight world championship, their 16th all time, and they have done it at the expense of their arch rival from Boston.
Back-to-back titles, and they get to do it on their home floor in front of an adoring crowd.
Beautiful, baby. Beautiful. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about.
With over 28 points a game average, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists, the 2010 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP is none other than Kobe Bryant.
The Los Angeles Lakers have written a new chapter to this epic rivalry and have etched their names into Lakers lore.
Go, boy, back to back. Where's Phil? Bring it in.
Basketball is my first love. I'm 30 years old. I've been playing for since I was 5 or 6. It's been an incredible journey for me, but to win 2 NBA titles back-to-back with the LA Lakers, I could. Icing on the cake, really, for me.
Yeah, bring it in. Bring it in one more time. Yes, sir. Bring on 3. 1, 2, 3.
This is how we'll be known in history. Guys are trying to make legacies and leave legacies that people will never forget. And to do it back to back, it's something that, Hall of Famers haven't done. And it's one of them things that's very special.
To be a part of this organization and playing and representing the team, the city, carry a lot more pride on your shoulders.
Winning these championships back-to-back, being in the finals 3 straight years, they're all accolades and things that'll be in the history books.
This is number 5, man. 2 for my big fella right here. Beautiful day, man.
I'm gonna tell you this. As a player, that's the moment you always dream.
I've never been that happy for so long. I didn't think winning that trophy was gonna feel, as good as it feels, and now I feel like I'm somebody.
I told you was gonna get it, man. He got me a ring. Told you.
We had an opportunity to accomplish something truly amazing, and we worked so hard as a group in different ways to be able to be successful and actually achieve it. It's a great pride, it's a great honor.
I had no idea how it was gonna happen or how we were going to win, but I knew we were going to win. Like, this is supposed to happen.
This is a very special group. We had the most fun, I think, of maybe any team that I've been on as a Laker.
We just getting started, baby. We just getting started, baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah, buddy.
You know, this group, we've been together for a while.
There you go.
And adding Ron to the mix and integrating him into the group and kind of the DNA that's already been established. So it makes the season that much sweeter.
Back to the White House again.
Amazing, baby. We got it done. Victory for us in LA, baby.
2010 NBA Finals is over.